Hello, I'm Mrs. Schoaf, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about finding credible sources. So credible means that it is capable of being believed or trustworthy. So when you're looking for sources, it's really important to make sure that they are credible and reliable. So what makes sources authoritative or reliable? If a source is peer-reviewed, it's probably credible, and that means that an expert in the field has reviewed the work and clarifies that it is credible. Also, if your source is supported by a university or scholarly journal, you probably know that it's going to be reliable. Authors who are well known with a reliable publication process and a publisher that has a reputation for fact-checking and accuracy are going to be authoritative sources to use. Questions to consider when looking for sources. First, it is important to ask yourself who your author is and to know whether or not your author cites his or her sources. Also, you want to find recent sources, so ask yourself how recent is the source. And you need to keep in mind the author's purpose, and then it is important to know who is funding the research or writing of this source. So if these are a few questions that you need to ask yourself while you're finding credible sources. We're going to take a look at the Media Center databases really quickly because they are a great place to find peer-reviewed credible sources without having to do a lot of thinking on your part. So most of you have done this for a really long time, but you just go to Computer and then you go to Lab Menus and you'll see the Media Center databases. There are lots of options to choose from, but we're just going to use Gale Resources this first time. And inside Gale Resources, I'm going to look up totalitarianism because we just finished 1984. Make sure that when you are in Gale specifically, that you click on a specific database that you want to use. So don't just search in the power search, actually choose a database. For some of you, the Opposing Viewpoints database is going to be a really great place for you to go. I am going to go to World History and Context, and I'm just going to type in my topic at the top, and lots of sources are going to pop up for me. I'm just going to use the first one, and as you can see, it is definitely going to be credible because it gives us all of the sources that it references. And one great thing about using the Media Center databases, they already give you the source citation. So I suggest that you go ahead and copy and paste your source citation into a Word document when you are looking for sources. So that way you don't have to type out each source citation individually when you create your annotated bibliography. So this source I would definitely say is credible. And since you looked at the source on a Media Center database, you don't have to really do any thinking because they have already chosen credible sources for you to look at. All right, so we're going to do a little bit more practice in evaluating sources. So if you just want to talk to a partner or write down whether you think these sources are credible or not credible, you can just put C for credible or N for not credible. The first one we're going to visit is Buzzle.com. And it has quite a bit of information for you. And it shows that it was updated in 2012. And if you click on the author, you can learn about who wrote it. It says that she has been a part of the education system since 1992, and she has extensive training in dealing with adolescents. So, do you think that this source is credible or not credible? The next source we're going to look at is Britannica. This is a database that you can look at using the Media Center's databases. Here's the source citation. So if you did decide you wanted to use this, I would definitely copy and paste this, so that way you can use it for your annotated bibliography. So do you think that this source is credible or not credible? The last one we're going to look at it looks like it is from some school district in California. It says fresno.k12.ca.us. So I'm assuming it's from some kind of education system. So just by quickly looking at this website, do you think that this is credible or not credible? All right, so to finish up, there are just a few more things that I want you to think about. When you're looking for your author, it's important to ask yourself if you have an author for each of your sources and if they cited their sources in their own writing. Also, if their sources are current and reputable and if they are respected in their field. When you're looking at sources on the internet, if your source is from a blog, Wikipedia, Buzzle, WebMD, or about.com, or a similar site, it's probably something that you don't want to use in your research. If you have a .org or .com site, you will definitely need to have the author, their credentials, and their citations in order to use it in your research. So if you have any questions about finding credible sources, please talk to your teacher, and I wish you the best of luck.